Hello and a very warm welcome to you, wherever in the world you're joining us from, to the South Paris Arena as the women's quarterfinals come to a conclusion and we discover who will be lining up in the final four. Later on, reigning champions Turkey will take to court against World Championship silver medalists. And now we have a brilliant matchup as Japan line up against Brazil in a repeat of the Tokyo 2020 bronze medal match. Then it was Japan that came out on top, but today, chance for Brazil to put the past behind them and secure a place in the semi-finals as they chase their first ever Paralympic medal. Just a few minutes until today's final session gets underway, and before we get going, allow me to tell you a bit more about this fantastic sport and the two teams that are taking to court today. Well, the aim of the game in goalball, as the name suggests, score as many goals as possible while trying to block your own net the best you can. Each side has 3 players on court at any one time. And these wonderful visually impaired athletes wear eye shades, so they're not able to see anything. And they rely on the sound of the ball and the touch of those lines to navigate their way around court. And there, what these two sides are playing for today, a spot in the other semi-final against either Turkey or the Republic of Korea. You can already tell there's going to be some formidable matchups in those semi-finals. As the 8 sides that started this competition narrow down to 4. And this crowd, and it's been a fantastic crowd over the course of the competition, and as noisy and as atmospheric as they've been before and between points. While the ball's in play, they have to be absolutely silent. Certainly is an interesting experience being a goalball spectator. It's a little bit counterintuitive. Normally you want to make as much noise as you can, but these players need to be able to hear the bounce of the ball. And that means the crowd has to be absolutely silent while the ball's in play. Very different run-ins for these two sides. Japan winning all 3 of their pool games. Brazil, it's been a decidedly more mixed affair, but they've been a very difficult group indeed. Along with Turkey, Israel, People's Republic of China, 3 very strong sides. And they've faced some really tough matchups going into this game. That ball that you can see being thrown around on court, it's about the size of a basketball, weighs 1.5 kilograms. It's got a bell inside so players can hear it coming. And you'll see the full variety of shots over the course of this match and the course of the competition. See the slower balls, faster balls, bouncing balls. Even from Brazil, you might see between the legs. It's one of their specialties. And here we see this Brazil side. It's a side that has a wide range of attacking options. Lots of different names on their score sheet so far. Manitha Lima currently top scorer for them with 4 goals. And number 8, Jessica Vitorino, not far behind. And we'll shortly discover which 3 of those 6 players will be taken to court as part of the starting 3. Japan also a very strong side. Number 6, Narika Hagawara. She finished as 2nd top scorer in Tokyo with 25 goals. And no surprise, she's been their top scorer in Paris so far. Expect to see her. She's Japan's primary attacking option. She's got a really powerful throw on her. There are officials from Finland and Lithuania. It will be their role to call fouls, and don't worry, if it's your first time experiencing goalball, we'll talk you through all the variety of infractions in goalball. Long balls, high balls, noise penalties, many different types of penalties, but we'll talk you through as we go. And those officials will also be overseeing the pre-match patching process, which is where these players have their eye shades applied. Players aren't allowed to touch their own eye shades in the sport of goalball, so have to be applied by the officials. And if you do touch your own eye shades, then it's a penalty, and penalties in goalball are one-on-one, so they can be very costly indeed. Brazil yet to win a women's Paralympic goalball medal. Came fourth in both Rio and Tokyo, so come pretty close to picking up some silverware. This time they'll hope to go one better, get the place on the podium that they've been striving for so long. This is probably one of the most interesting of the quarter-final matchups. Two very experienced and formidable sides, and some very different styles of play as well. And now the starting three start to take shape. Certainly no surprises for Japan. Their strongest three on court: Tema, Hagiwara, Takahashi. Yet to see how Brazil will start this match. Expect you'll see their two top scorers, Lima and Vitorino. And Brazil keeping their cards close to the chest at the moment. Not giving anything away. But I suspect it will be the familiar starting three of Brito, Lima, Vitorino. Combination of youth and experience and plenty of attacking options. And we're now just 2 minutes from the opening throw. And shortly you'll hear the 90-second hooter, which signifies the start of the patching process, and these players will start to have their eye shades applied. And a good view there of the protective gauze that these players wear underneath their eye shades. So the combination of the gauze and the eye shades, you really can't see a thing. And these players have different levels of visual impairment, so regardless of whether they're B1, B2, B3, with those eye shades, everyone's playing on the same footing, and as expected, it's Brito, Lima, Vitorino, their strongest starting three. Lots of goals expected from those two, Lima, Vitorino, and expect to see Brito taking the more central position. Brazil got off to a great start, 3-3 draw against reigning champions Turkey. But their form has started to slip since then, and great chance to put things right today against Japan. Starting three for Japan: Tema, Hagiwara, Takahashi. Takahashi likely taking the centre position. Lots of goals from Hagiwara, number 6. She's been banging them in all tournament. And it wouldn't be a surprise to see her name on the score sheet here. 3 wins from 3 games, and interesting just how few goals Japan have conceded. They've only conceded 2 across 3 games. So they're not a side that are easy to score against.
Audience, let's come down together to start of competition.
Alessandro Tosin, the Brazil coach, used to coach the men's team, coached them to a gold medal. Now he's having achieved the ultimate accolade. He's going to take the women to silverware for the first time. And this match will be all important. I certainly can't wait. It's shaping up to be a really close and competitive game. Mihoko Suji is part of the coaching team for Tokyo 2020 when Japan came away with bronze.
Japan starts with the ball. Quiet, please. Center.
Japan against Brazil in the women's quarter-final. A repeat of the bronze medal match from Tokyo. That time it was Japan that came out on top. And Brazil put that behind them. Oh, it's a great early start from Brazil. A brilliant opening throw. And it's Jessica Vitorino with the early goal. The ball just danced along the touchline. Really good accuracy. And the ball sails past Norika Hagawara and into the back of the net. Brilliant start, and now it's Japan that are on the back foot. Lima throwing from centre of court, blocked by Hagawara. And these early throws, always interesting, seeing what formation these sides are going to take and what kind of style of play we're going to see. Japan are a side that moves around quite fluidly on court. Really nice side to watch. Brazil play quite aggressively. Launch lots of throws and they've got lots of attacking options. Japan a bit more dependent on Hagawara on this near side when it comes to goals. Early touch for Hagawara of Japan. Second top scorer in Tokyo 2020. Feel like we're going to see quite a lot of her today. She goes cross court. And the ball bobbling around, but Brazil just about keep it out. It's so difficult when the ball's in the air. The bell in the ball doesn't make much sound when the ball is airborne. So you often see a bit of a scramble, as we just saw from Brazil there. Now Tema throwing from centre of court. Usually expect her to throw from the wing, so good example of how fluidly this Japan side can move around. It's wide of the post from Vitorino. Bit of breathing space. It's been a frantic first minute and a half of play. Now Hagawara to throw, slightly slower ball. Use of pace is really important weapon in the Goalball arsenal. Slower ball can make a bit less noise and it's a bit harder to detect. Now Tema. Straight to Brito in centre of court, and it's going to be Vitorino. She's got the game's only goal so far. She advances far up court, going all the way up to the high ball line. Aggressive style of throw. So it is vulnerable to conceding a penalty if you throw like that. The ball has to bounce in your own third of the court, so the further you advance, the less room for manoeuvre you have and less margin for error. Now Lima propelling herself off the frame of the goal. Quite often see players do that just to give themselves a bit of momentum. Helps them locate themselves positionally as well. Ball in the arms of Yuki Tema. Goes cross court and deflected to Vitorino via Brito. Vitorino from the different side of court to where she usually throws from. Goalball's all about the element of surprise, and if you can catch your opponent unawares by doing a different type of throw or throwing from an unusual angle, it can really pay dividends. Vitorino. Aggressive throw once again, but Japan intercepted that well. You may have seen there Norika Hagawara touching those lines on the court. Those lines are textured, they have string underneath, so it's how these players work out where they are on court. Well blocked by Tema, using her legs. You can use all parts of the body to block in goalball. And you see blocks with the feet, the head. It can be quite a dangerous game. And that ball weighs about 1.5 kilograms, so can certainly cause a bruise or two. Hagawara goes for the straighter delivery. Brazil wanted a penalty there, but not going to get it. Slightly slower throw from Lima. into the arms of Tema. If you're curious what Brazil were appealing for, the ball has to bounce in your own third and also that neutral third. Otherwise it's a penalty, and penalties in goalball are one-on-one, so you certainly don't want to concede too many. Japan are known as a side that concedes very few penalties. Quick response from Vitorino. Great way to provide an element of surprise. Spring back up on your feet and get a shot away. Now Tema advancing up court. Well gathered. And if you're curious about some of the noises you might be hearing, it is perfectly legal for these players to make noises on court, but you can only do it up until the point your teammate starts their throwing action. So you quite often hear all kinds of unusual noises as these players try and give signals to each other. Sometimes you'll hear players counting each other down because they only have 10 seconds to get their throw away. And so teammates helping each other out. Speaking of 10 seconds, Japan will have to be quick here. Slower ball from Hagawara. Slower ball's really difficult to defend. Ball makes a lot less noise. A lot harder to anticipate it. Now from centre of court, it's Tema. Lima gives the ball to Vitorino. Vitorino throws left-handed, so that's another element of surprise. Sometimes teams will see a left-handed player as a useful option in terms of generating throws in different ways and from different angles, and good block from Manitha Lima. He's been part of the Brazil squad since 2017. He's a very experienced player. Japan making a change. We're about halfway through this first half. And it's going to be Minami Arai coming on. She's only been playing goalball since 2021. She wasn't even playing the sport last time Japan played at Paralympics. And now she's on court and her side are up against it. One goal down though. Slenderest of margins, and I'm sure we've got plenty more twists and turns to come. Yuki Tema, who just left the court, has not just represented Japan in goalball, but also para-athletics at London 2012. So talented in more than one discipline. Vitorino from centre of court, using the frame of the goal to help her locate herself. Hagawara, lots of bounce on that one. But it was carefully guarded out of play by Vitorino. Alessandro Tosim, a very decorated and celebrated coach in Brazil. Took Brazil men to great success, and he was persuaded to come out of retirement to coach the women. Said his wife and kids told him to do it, said he'd regret it if he didn't, and I'm sure he's pretty happy with that decision right now. Quick exchange of throws, and shows the aggressive way in which this first half has been played. Vitorino from different side of court, and it's spilled by Hagawara, but fortunately from a Japan perspective, goes wide of the post. So what you saw from Hagawara there, she put up her hand to say her eye shades had come loose. These players aren't allowed to correct their own eye shades. If you do, it's a penalty. And so they have to put up their hands, and then officials will come on and put things right. It's Arai just come onto court as a substitute. Early throw for her. And that's blocked out, so if you're wondering why Japan are keeping possession now, it's because the ball went out of play in their third of the court. If it had have gone out in the neutral area, it would have been Brazil ball. Oh, the ball bobbles around, and as soon as that ball goes into the air, really hard for these players to locate it. It's a spin on that from Vitorino. She's looking pretty threatening. Now Hagawara, feels like we haven't quite seen her get into top gear. Normally Japan's most prolific offensive player. Feels like she's just getting into the swing of things at the moment. Now Arai with the underarm bowling ball. Comfortably dealt with by Brito in the centre. Rapid response from Hagawara, just wide of the post. Perhaps the closest Japan have come to scoring in this first half. Hagawara goes for the straighter throw. Now quick response, and that was a bit risky from Vitorino. She was basically right on the high ball line, and she did well to make the ball bounce in her own third of the court. It's one of the riskier throws you can do in goalball. Here's Arai, Japan's youngest player, age of 21. She's shown herself to be adept to the pressure in this tournament, and Brazil have called a timeout. You have to use your timeout in the first half, otherwise you lose it, so it makes total sense that Brazil want to use theirs before the half-time hooter. And they will be delighted by the way this first half has played out. Japan, a very difficult side to score against. They only conceded 2 goals in their 3 group games. And the fact Brazil got an early goal on the board, they'll be thrilled with that. Lima gets us back underway after the timeout. Hagawara steadies herself on the frame of the goal. Moves towards centre of court. It's gathered well by Vitorino. Feels like she's been in the thick of it. Defence and attack in the first half. Now Arai throwing from the centre. Japan are almost interchangeable in terms of the positions they take up. Brazil with a bit more of a traditional formation. With Brazil, it's Brito in the centre, and she passes the ball out to the attacking wings. Japan move around in an almost interchangeable way. Provides a bit more attacking threat. Means you don't know where the throw is going to come from, or who it's going to come from, for that matter. Lima swapping sides temporarily with Vitorino. Gabriela Brito in the Brazil centre. She's playing very much a marshalling role. You can hear her giving instructions to her teammates and helping them to plan their moves. Centre often takes on that kind of coordinating role, but she's definitely one of the best. That's a dummy from Japan. It's an interesting part of goalball strategy. As the ball bobbles up into the air and it's kept out. Now Japan's turn to call the timeout. Japan needs some goals. They're matches in the pool stages were very low scoring. They didn't score many, but they didn't concede many either. But right now they need to find a goal from somewhere. And they need Narika Hagawara, their number 6, to be on form. And in previous pool games, Hagawara has often been taken off towards the end of the first half, start of the second for a bit of a rest, and Japan have often suffered when she's been off court, so Brazil will be waiting for their moment to exploit that. Hagawara with the throw. It was the dummy from Takahashi outside. One of the really interesting elements of goalball is the dummy runs, the dummy throws that these sides do. Gives the impression of movement, or that the ball might come from a different area of court. That was very clever from Japan. Vitorino. Straighter ball. Well gathered. And Hagawara has just a few seconds to get this back into play. And the ball bounces off court. It's going to be Brazil ball, and we're approaching the final throws of this first half. And Brazil will be very happy to go in 1-0 up at the break. Last time these two sides met in a Paralympic Games, Japan came out very comfortably on top. But it's Brazil that's looked like the better side, and that early goal from Jessica Vitorino. Lima. Haven't yet seen much offensive threat from Lima. Sure there'll be more to come from her in the second half. And the ball crawls out. Just 1 or 2 throws from either of these teams left in this first half. It's been a cagey and low-scoring game, as these knockout games often are. Neither side wants to make a mistake or concede a penalty by playing too aggressively. And a thoroughly enjoyable first half of elite goalball as these two titans go head-to-head. And it was an early goal from Brazil that's proved the difference between these two sides. It was a low-scoring affair, as we've come to expect from games involving Japan. It's Japan who are on the wrong side of this half-time scoreline. A goal from that lady, Jessica Vitorino, that gives Brazil the half-time lead. The half-time score is Japan 0, Brazil 1.
What an exciting game going on here in the South Paris Arena 6. Score is Brazil 1.
This crowd have been brilliant right throughout the goalball competition. They've got into the spirit of the event and more or less understood the need for absolute silence while the ball's in play. It's been 1 or 2 slips of people getting overexcited. Very understandable considering the quality of the play. In fact, some of these teams have been training with phones going off and babies crying. Try and imitate some of the things that come up. And here we see the highlights of the first half. It was this early goal from Jessica Vitorino, one of the first throws of the match. Found its way past Narika Hagawara into the corner of the net. A fantastic start for Vitorino. Japan were forced to make an early timeout, but they haven't yet been able to make the breakthrough. And that chance from Hagawara, the closest Japan have come. Well, there we have the highlights of the first half, and got a very exciting second half to come, and that is the vital statistics. No penalties so far, very impressive. Occasionally in knockout games, you can see nerves get the better of these players. They lose their rhythm, lose their focus, concede penalties cheaply, but testament to the accuracy of these players. Around 100 throws in this first half. Not one of them was ruled as illegal.
And ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for Silent Wave.
And we'll shortly be seeing and hearing whether any changes have been made at half-time. Looks like Brazil sticking with their starting three. And Japan remaining with the three who ended the first half.
Brazil on my left and Japan on my right. Half-time score is Brazil 1, Japan 0. Half-time substitution, Japan out number 6 in number 1.
Actually, we do have Yuki Tema back on court. Narika Hagawara has made way. And that is an attacking change from Japan. Means they have 3 offensive players on court. And Brazil, meanwhile, remain unchanged. So lots more attacking opportunities from Japan. And can Brazil start this second half in the same manner in which they started the first? It's the early goal from Jessica Vitorino that's the only difference between these two sides. Now Lima throwing from the touchline. Parried by Takahashi, and it's in the arms of Minami Arai. It's blocked out by Lima. Smart stretch. She did well to keep the ball out the net. These players use their full body, and you see them stretching out on court, using the full width of their body to keep the ball out. It means height can be a real advantage in goalball. In the men's event, there's a player who's 6'7". Makes him really hard to score against, covers almost the entirety of his third of the court. And the ball bounces off court from Jessica Vitorino. Brazil have a substitute limbering up. And it's interesting seeing Brazil adapt to Japan's style. Traditionally, they're a very aggressive side, score a lot of goals, but they can be a bit amiss sometimes in terms of conceding. But they've showed really strong discipline here. They've held together defensively, haven't conceded any penalties. And that throw from Vitorino wide of the post. Japan have Narika Hagawara on the bench now. As we mentioned earlier, she's Japan's primary attacking option, and in previous pool games, Japan have looked a bit poorer when she's been on the bench. So Brazil might see that as a bit of a power play. Chance to really extend their lead. Cleared by the boot of Gabriela Brito. Brito's partner, Alex de Mello Souza, also played goalball at international level. One of many goalball partnerships that make up international goalball. Arai throwing from centre of court. Blocked out by the legs of Brito. This game has a very tense feel to it. Japan's game's characteristically low scoring, but usually they're on the other end of the result. Now they trail and they need to find a goal from somewhere. See the tension etched across the face of the Brazilian coaching staff. They really are experiencing every throw. And a clever dummy from Japan, trying to imitate movement on the far side. But it doesn't have the desired effect, and wide of Manitha Lima's post. Vitorino parried by Yuki Tema. Yuki Tema, who's represented Japan in the 100 and 200 meters as well as goalball. Not unusual for these goalball players to have an extra string to their bow. Slow ball from Tema, blocked by Brito. Vitorino. Blocked by the legs of Takahashi, the centre. Still a lot of noise on court as these players marshal their teammates. Pretty sure I heard a bit of counting down from Japan, so these players have 10 seconds to get the ball into play, and of course wearing the eye shades, can't see any of the clocks in the stadium, so either their teammates count them down or they have their own kind of internal shot clock. Incredible how few penalties. Oh, it's a goal for Brazil! And Brazil double their lead. And it's Jessica Vitorino once again getting the bounce on the ball to take it past the Japanese trio. And she used all her body to generate that spin and the bounce. And things are looking very dangerous for Japan. 2 goals for Jessica Vitorino. She started playing the sport at the age of 16. She saw a presentation at school and started playing. And there's been lots of presentations going on in France past a week or so, trying to encourage school kids to get into the game. And we have Hagawara coming back on. Japan always look like they're missing something when she's not on court. And in those early minutes of the second half, they were very much missing her. And it's difficult. She's obviously needs a bit of time off court to rest. It's a pretty physically demanding game, but she is definitely their primary offensive threat, and Japan do find it hard when she's not on court. Vitorino's been the star of this match, and Hagawara shapes up to throw. Gathered by Lima. Lima advancing up court up to the high ball line. Brazil were delighted with that save, let out a little shriek of excitement. And now we have Vitorino, she's chasing a hat-trick. Giovanna Mora. Looks like she might be limbering up to come on. Hagawara once again, she was top scorer in Tokyo. She hasn't been able to repeat her scoring exploits on court today. And here she has another go. Blocked by Lima. Back in the arms of Vitorino. The only goal scorer in this game so far. Now Japan calling the timeout. We're about halfway through the second half. And Japan with lots to think about. They picked up the bronze medal in Tokyo, but as things stand, there'll be no place on the podium for them. And you might see in the back of shots, they often use these breaks in play to wipe the court and make sure it's dry. Court gets exceptionally wet. These players move around on their hands and hands get sweaty, and so quite often the court can get a bit slippery, so they use any opportunity to keep the court clean and dry. Hagawara moves silently onto the wing position, whilst her teammate does the dummy alongside her. These players try and move around court as silently as they can, try not to activate the bell in the ball. It means you can take your opposition by surprise. But that element of surprise somewhat missing for Japan. Brazil seem to be intercepting and interpreting their plays pretty well. And now we have another Japan change. Takahashi coming off. It's going to be Saki Amuro coming on. She wasn't selected for Rio 2016, Saki Amuro. She talked a lot about how upset she was and how she was determined to represent Japan on court in future tournaments. And she was selected for Tokyo, and here she is. And Japan are counting on her to provide something a bit different. I expect we'll see her in centre of court. Arai to throw. Blocked. And gathered well by Lima. Brito essentially hiding in the goal to try and get out of her way. It's incredible the positional awareness that these players have. When you speak to top-level goalball players, they'll tell you that they almost have a mental map as the ball strikes the post and it goes towards the goal line, but it's no goal. These players will tell you they have a really strong mental picture of where the opposition are, where the ball is, where balls are coming from. Incredibly impressive, the way they navigate across court and pluck the ball out the air. Well, that's interesting. So Brazil think they should have possession there, and the officials are going to confer, so let's try and listen in. Let's hear what decision they've arrived at. Oh, it's going to be Japan ball. So the argument was whether the ball left court in Brazil's third of the court or in the neutral zone. Officials adjudged it was the neutral zone, and so Japan had possession. Brazil coaching staff not happy with it at all, but nothing they can do. Decision's been made. Vitorino still chasing that hat-trick. Blocked and gathered by Hagawara. Moving to the other wing. She's fantastic at moving quietly across court. She's got a special skill not to allow the ball to make a noise and not to allow her feet to give the game away. It's one of her many talents. Brazil have never won a Paralympic women's goalball medal before. In their many appearances since 2004. And this would be a huge moment were they to progress to to the semi-final. So often they've come close, 4th place in Rio, 4th place in Tokyo. But they're looking in good shape this year. And Japan call the timeout. They've got a lot of thinking to do, just 4.5 minutes remain. And they haven't yet really posed an attacking threat. Hagawara has looked unusually muted, and Brazil have intercepted many different attempts and throws and angles incredibly well. I'm sure Alessandro Tosim saying to Brazil, stay calm, don't give any penalties away. Maybe start to take your time on the ball a bit. They're allowed up to 10 seconds, so you might start to see them taking a bit longer before they get their throw away. Amuro right up to the high ball line, gathered by Vitorino. Goes for the straighter ball. Amuro to Hagawara. And she didn't quite get her orientation right as she shaped up to throw, and ball bounces harmlessly off court. Going to be Brazil ball. Lima with the slightly slower, straighter ball. When the ball kind of glides across the surface, it's quite difficult to pick up. Less likely to make a noise and can be quite difficult to defend. Vitorino starting off court, which you're allowed to do in goalball as long as the ball bounces on the court. And that's what happened on that occasion, and Hagawara once again trying from a different angle, approaching the other wing, but Brazil once again intercepting. Lots of bounce on that from Arai. That's why she was brought on, for those spinning, bouncing deliveries, but Brazil looking really solid. Brito being very vocal, just helping her teammate to navigate her way around. The voice of your teammate can really help these players in terms of working out where they are on court. And it's legal to make noise as long as your teammate hasn't started their throwing action. But it's quite a finely balanced thing, because the noise penalty is one-on-one, and with the size of these nets stretching all the way across the court, can be pretty costly. Amuro, little collision with the post, and it's knocked her off stride. She collided with the post, and it meant she started her throwing action off court, and therefore her throw never likely to trouble the Brazilian trio. Rotation throw from Vitorino. Blocked by the body of Saki Amuro. Hagawara, Amuro with the dummy alongside her. Brazil taking the timeout. 2 minutes left, 2 goals between these two sides. And Brazil once again using the opportunity to tell his side just to calm it down, take their time. They haven't conceded a single penalty in this match, and that will be really encouraging for Alessandro Tosim. Brazil traditionally have been quite an expensive side in terms of penalties, and they've shown what they can do here. They've shown they can keep it tight, they can maintain their accuracy under pressure, and that will serve them really well if they progress to the semi-final, which at the moment looks more likely than not, but still 2 minutes to go. Hagawara relying on the post for orientation. she hasn't achieved the potency and the threat that she so often brings to court. That's a bounce on the ball from Hagawara, but quickly returned by Lima. I wonder if the Brazilian coach won't be keen to see such a rapid return at this stage of the match. Brazil perfectly within their rights to run down the clock up to the maximum 10 seconds. Hagawara trying the bouncing throw that time, but story of the match, hasn't found a way through. Hagawara having another go. Going for the straighter ball that time, and comfortably gathered by Vitorino. Vitorino cross court. And Japan take the timeout. 45 seconds left. And Japan's medal chances hanging in the balance. They need to find 2 goals, and they need to find them quickly. And I'm sure this late in the game, they really do plan it out throw by throw. I know there's just a handful of throws left in this quarter-final, and they will be planning them out meticulously. But the odds really are against Japan at the moment, and they really need something from Narika Hagawara. 47 throws yet to score. If there's one thing we know from Paralympic goalball, it's that Narika Hagawara can score. She can score when it matters, but once again, Brazilian defence holds firm. And more than that, they get to maintain possession. Vitorino's throw gathered by a combination of Imuro and Hagawara. Hagawara tries from the other side of court, but blocked out. And the Brazilian coaches living every second. They know what a big result this would be. Imuro, she needs to get the ball into play quickly, and she does, but Brazil now can surely run down the clock and secure their spot in the semi-final. Hagawara. And it's blocked, and fitting that the final possession falls with Brazil. Brazil have secured an important victory and secured their spot in the semi-final. It is a huge win for them against established opposition in the form of Japan. And it was 2 goals from Jessica Vitorino, and some of the most solid defence I've ever seen from a Brazilian side. And well might they celebrate both on the court and in the stands. A huge victory. And as Brazil try and break their run of 4th places, they've given themselves a really good chance with that win, and you can see how much that means for Narika Hagawara. She's devastated by that result, but she's put in a fantastic showing across this tournament. And in the end, Brazil just too strong. Brilliant result for Brazil. Reaching the semi-finals, and means Japan unable to repeat their medal success from Tokyo 2020. And at the end of such a close and hard-fought encounter, brilliant to see these 2 sides embracing in such a warm and sporting way. It was so hard to separate these 2 sides. And great to see a smile on the face of Yuki Tema. She knows they've got a lot to be proud of, not just on court today, but throughout the group stages where they won every match. But it all comes down to how you perform in the knockout stages. And it's Brazil that progress after an impressive showing. The full-time score in the quarter-final. Japan 0, Brazil 2. Both these sides take the plaudits that they deserve from this fantastic crowd at the South Paris Arena. But it's Brazil jumping for joy. And it's that number 8, Jessica Vitorino, the difference between the two sides. Means so much to this Brazilian side. So often they've fallen just short of the podium. But they have their place in the semi-final and the chance to go for the medals that have eluded them for so long. As we look at those two sides that have so richly entertained us over the last hour or so. Final score, it's 2-0 to a fantastic Brazilian side who've staked their place in the semi-final.
Profitez de la journée et profitez de la compétition. Merci d'avoir fait partie des Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. On se retrouve donc à 19h45.
A brilliant crowd who've enjoyed the fantastic action in the knockout stages. And if it's been your first taste of goalball, well, thank you very much for joining us. And we hope you enjoy more of the goalball and the many other fantastic sports that make up Paris 2024.
Here at South Paris Arena 6 for goalball is last women's quarterfinal between Turkey and Republic of Korea at 7:45 p.m. Your ticket is good also to that game. Welcome and thanks for joining us with this game and enjoy the competition.
And there we have the story of the match. 2-0 to Brazil, and most notable of all, no penalties for either side. Despite the pressure and the tension of the knockout stages, both sides held their discipline and held their accuracy. Almost 200 throws, not a single infringement amongst them. And that is something that both sides can take from this encounter. And there we have the lineup for the semi-finals. People's Republic of China against Israel. And Brazil will face the winner of the remaining quarter-final between Turkey and the Republic of Korea. What a match that will be. Repeat of the World Championship final of 2022. That time it was Turkey that won, but sure, a very competitive game there. As the crowd file out of the South Paris Arena, we're very grateful to you for joining today. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed a fantastic game. As Japan take on Brazil. Brazil just too strong, coming out 2-0 winners at the South Paris Arena.
For highlights from the first game. The Paris 2024 organizing committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and the dedication toward making the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games a success.
En parlant des volontaires formidables, je suis avec deux volontaires, donc Rodolphe et Luc. Alors j'ai quelques questions pour vous, parce qu'on a envie de savoir un peu plus votre rôle ici pendant les Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. Alors je commence avec vous, Luc. Alors comment est-ce que vous avez vécu cette expérience en tant que volontaire?
C'était super, tout le monde est très sympa, le public est formidable aussi, il faut le dire. Et sinon, voilà, de belles rencontres, franchement super.
Et vous pouvez faire du bruit, le public. Maintenant, c'est le moment de le faire. Hein. Pas pendant le match, maintenant, c'est très très bien. Rodolphe, c'est la première fois que vous avez regardé du goalball. Vous connaissez cette discipline?
Alors, c'est la première fois que je regarde en compétition. Après, j'en ai déjà encadré dans le cadre de mes études. Donc je connaissais un peu l'activité, mais c'est vrai que dès que ça devient professionnel, c'est nettement plus intéressant et spectaculaire.
Et justement, comment est-ce que vous avez vécu ces Jeux Paralympiques en tant que quelqu'un justement qui fait ses études dans le sport?
C'est un peu la consécration, je suis bénévole dans mon club, donc le fait de faire les JO, les paras, c'est le summum du bénévolat. Donc moi c'est une fierté d'être là et d'aider toute l'organisation.
Et quel est votre sport de prédilection?
C'est le flag football, qui sera une compétition sport olympique à Los Angeles en 2028.
Allez, une petite promo là en plus, très bien, let's go. Juste un dernier mot sur l'importance. Qu'est-ce que vous avez appris pendant cette expérience en tant que volontaire Vous étiez aux Jeux aussi ou uniquement ici Paralympics?
Moi j'étais aussi aux Jeux Olympiques et le principal enseignement c'est d'apprendre à travailler en équipe parce qu'on est une grande équipe et du coup on apprend à se connaître et à travailler ensemble, pas se marcher sur les pieds. Donc voilà, le travail en équipe c'est ce que je retiens.
En tant que quelqu'un qui vit à Paris, il y a beaucoup avant les Jeux et les Paralympiques de négativité par rapport à l'accueil, etc. Ouais, tu souris parce que c'est vrai quand même. Par contre, en parlant des Jeux et ensuite back-to-back les paras, c'était une expérience formidable pour tout le monde. Racontez-nous comment ça a été pour vous et qu'est-ce que ça a fait d'accueillir le monde entier à Paris et quelle a été la réponse? Comment est-ce qu'ils ont réagi, les fans, les spectateurs qui sont venus à Paris pour ces magnifiques Jeux et Paralympiques?
Je pense que c'est une fierté en tant que Français et bénévole d'accueillir ces Jeux. Certes, il y avait un peu de crainte, les Parisiens, ils avaient un peu peur, mais au final, ils se sont rendus compte qu'il y avait une organisation de folie, tout le staff qui a été fait, et donc tout le monde a pu en profiter. Le public est présent pour remercier les bénévoles, les staffs, et donc l'après-JO, j'espère surtout que les jeunes, parce que c'est l'avenir, ils vont se mettre au sport, continuer et s'investir.
Et c'est un grand parti grâce à vous les volontaires, donc Rodolphe et Luc. Messieurs, dames, faites du bruit pour les volontaires de ces Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. Thank you, merci. du bruit pour les performeuses, les moppers.
Thank you, moppers! Amazing show!
Never tell
service d'audio description et de commentaires en direct. Scannez le QR code sur l'écran vidéo. Le service est disponible une fois connecté sur l'application officielle Paris 2024.
Make the most of our audio description and live commentary service. Scan the QR code on the video board and it's available once you log in to the official Paris 2024 app.
Le prochain match va opposer la Turquie et la République de Corée. La Turquie est championne olympique, médaille d'or à Tokyo en 2020 et au Brésil en 2016. Mais la team n'a pas encore gagné un match pendant ce tournoi. Les Turcs, elles ont fait match nul contre la Chine et elles ont également, mais ils n'ont pas encore gagné un match. La République de Corée a gagné 6-1 contre la France cette semaine, match nul contre le Canada, mais elles ont perdu contre le Japon. Les deux équipes sont troisièmes dans leur groupe C et D, et la gagnante de ce match va passer en demi-finale et va opposer le Brésil.
Ladies and gentlemen, very soon starting women's last and fourth quarter-final game today here at South Paris Arena. 6 Turkey against the Republic of Korea. Two good teams on the field today because Turkey placed first in Tokyo 2020 Paralympics and Republic of Korea placed second in the Women's World Championships in Portugal 2022. Turkey placed second in Pool C here in Paris. One won, one draw and one defeat, the total 4 points. And the Republic of Korea placed third in Pool D, also with 4 points. Very good game coming soon.
Mesdames et messieurs, il est temps de faire place aux athlètes. Merci d'accueillir les équipes de la Turquie et de la République de Corée.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to meet our athletes. Please welcome the teams, Turkey and the Republic of Korea.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses de la Turquie.
Now it's time to meet the players from Turkey.
Numéro 2.
Number 2, Reihan Yilmaz.
Numéro 3.
Number 3, Semna Abdunamuk.
Numéro 4.
Number 4, Seinur Kaplan.
Numéro 7.
Number 7, Sevta Abdunamuk.
Numéro 8.
Number 8, Berfin Ottan.
L'entraîneur
Coach Gultekin Karasu.
et l'assistant entraîneur
Assistant coach Boris Keskin.
et le responsable du stade.
Assistant coach Kaner Balitsi.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses de la République de Corée.
Now it's time to meet the players from the Republic of Korea.
Numéro 1.
Number 1, Kim Hye-jin.
Numéro 3.
Number 3, Kim Eun-ji.
Numéro 4.
Number 4, Park Eun-ji.
Numéro 6.
Number 6, Kim Seon-hwa.
Numéro 7.
Number 7, Seo Min-ji.
Et numéro 8.
Number 8, Choi On-ji.
Et l'entraîneur
Coach Chang Eun-san.
et l'assistant entraîneur
Assistant coach Chang Chi-young.
et la responsable du stade.
Staff Yoo Hye-jin.
Les arbitres sont
The referees for the match are Antonios Christodoulos from Greece and Linda Wellborn from United States of America.
Et maintenant, pour partager l'esprit sportif international, la traditionnelle poignée de main d'avant-match des deux équipes.
And now in a show of international sportsmanship, both teams will exchange pre-game handshakes.
Allez viens, je t'emmène au vent, je t'emmène au-dessus des gens. Et je
Les équipes vont maintenant s'échauffer. Nous vous rappelons que le silence est très important dans cette compétition et vous demandons de respecter la haute concentration dont les athlètes doivent faire preuve dans ce sport.
The teams will now warm up and we remind you that silence is highly important for this competition. Athletes require high concentration, therefore we expect everyone to act in a respectful manner during the competition.
We now have 3 of our semi-finalists at the Paris 2024 Women's Goalball competition. There's still one more spot to fill. And now we'll discover whether it'll be Turkey or the Republic of Korea that will be taking their place in the final four. Turkey are the reigning Paralympic champions. They've made a faltering start to their competition. And they'll be looking to channel some of their Tokyo form as they take on the Republic of Korea, the World Championship silver medalists, taking part in their first Paralympic Games goalball competition since Atlanta 1996. As the crowd take their seats and the players warm up on court, let's take you through some of what you need to know about this sport and the two sides that are currently on court. Goalball's all about scoring as many goals as you can. Trying to get that big blue ball into the back of the net, but let's take a little look at what these two sides are playing for. Semi-final spot against Brazil. And it's a very formidable set of semi-finals shaping up. And Turkey will be hopeful of their chances today. They're the defending champions. Haven't quite got their tournament off to the start they might have liked, but when it comes to the knockout stages, you put the group matches behind you and it's all about one game at a time, and Turkey have shown they're capable of producing the big performances when it counts. Fans getting into the spirit. And there we see the two run-ins for both of these sides. Perfectly symmetrical. One win, one draw, one loss. And so pretty evenly matched coming into this competition, although Turkey do have a lot more big tournament experience. Republic of Korea haven't featured at a Paralympic Games for many years now, since Atlanta 1996. Turkey won the gold in Tokyo. As we see the court, reminder that court divided into 3/3. To be a legal throw, your ball has to bounce in your third of the court and also that neutral zone. And our officials, who we'll see very shortly, responsible for calling any foul balls. There we have the squad for the Republic of Korea. It's the same squad that gave them the silver medal back at the World Championships in 2022. Kim Yoon-ji, number 3, important part of that side. As well as being a goalball maestro, she's also represented her country at para cross-country skiing. In Korea, a mixed run-in, starting with that very narrow loss to Japan. And then a win against the hosts and a 0-0 draw against Canada. 0-0 draws in goalball are exceedingly rare, shows what a good defensive side the Republic of Korea are. And they're the Turkey squad, and Berfin Altan, the only player that wasn't in the side that won gold in Tokyo 2020. And a name to focus on, Sevda Altanoluk, top scorer at Tokyo 2020. One of the most decorated players in the sport. And their run-in too, somewhat mixed. It was an exceptionally tough group. Includes the IBSA World Game winners of People's Republic of China. Sevda Altanoluk, number 3 for Turkey. Expect to see her amongst the goals. just a few minutes away from the opening throws. These players being put through their paces. And the players rely entirely on the sound of the ball, so the crowd, as much noise as they might be making now, they'll have to be fully quiet when the ball's in play. And there we have our officials from Greece and the USA. And they'll shortly be taking these players through the patching process, which is where their eye shades are applied. And a brilliant and noisy crowd at the South Paris Arena, just as they've been in great voice throughout the tournament. And there we have the Korea starting three: Kim Hee-jin, Sim Seon-hwa, Seo Min-ji. Expect to see goals from Sim Seon-hwa, number 6. She scored 5 of Korea's goals in the tournament so far. And no surprise with the Turkey starting three: Gula Yilmaz, Sevda Altunaluk. It's been the same starting three that's taken to court throughout the tournament. And do have Sevda Altunaluk's sister Sevda up on the bench as well, so might see 2 Altunaluks on court at once. Big match for the Republic of Korea. They're used to these big Paralympic occasions. Korea coach Jung Yun-sun. And Turkish three having their instructions from coach Gültekin Karasu. They're a very close squad, been playing together for many years. And a mix of youth and experience. Fatma Gulgula, just 20 years of age, with the considerable tournament experience of Sevda Altunaluk. And now in the final minute before the opening throw, we have the patching process. These players have their eye shades applied under the supervision of the officials, and Turkish coach said girls have set the bar so high that even finishing second would be a failure. So they very much have their eyes on defending their gold medal. As the crowd are brought to order, we're shortly going to hear from the officials as they give their final instructions to the players and the crowd.
Thank you. Turkey starts with the ball. Quiet, please. Center.
Turkey against Korea. It's Turkey that start with the ball in this women's quarter-final. A repeat of the 2022 World Championship final. Then it was Turkey that came out on top. And let's see what this Paris 2024 quarter-final has in store. Gula with the early throw. gathered by Seo Min-ji. Gula to Altunaluk, and that's a sentence you might hear me say quite a lot today. They work well and very coordinated way. Quite often see them going around Yilmaz in centre of court and giving the ball to one another. And Gula, lots of bounce and danger on that ball, but well dealt with by Korean back line. And they retain possession, so Seo Min-ji to throw. Altunaluk goes cross court, and it's an early goal for Sevda Altunaluk. She was the tournament top scorer in Tokyo 2020. And she's just shown exactly why. A dangerous throw cross court. And it's under the body of Seo Min-ji. Brilliant start for Turkey. They lead 1-0. Fatma Gulgula. She was just 17 in Tokyo when she won gold. Became Turkey's youngest ever goalball medalist. Yilmaz to Gula. Gula varying it up in terms of which wing she throws from. Moving very fluidly. And it gives Turkey a real element of surprise. Means you can face an attack from all corners of the court. You don't know if it's coming from Altunaluk or Fatma Gulgula. This time it is Altunaluk. Parried by Seo Min-ji. Sim Suonhwa advancing up court, blocked by Yilmaz. Same routine from Gula. Moving across court, and Altunaluk making way. Their coordination, this Turkish side, really impressive. The way they move around court and the spatial awareness they have of where their teammates are located. Turkey calling for a noise penalty, but not given. These players only allowed to make noise up until the point their teammate starts their throwing action, and Turkey felt that was a noise infringement. I've seen Korea concede a few noise penalties throughout this tournament. Maybe that's something Turkey are aware of. Altunaluk gets her bearings on the centre line, scrapes her foot. Oh, and that's an unfortunate ricochet. And it's Altunaluk once again, goal number 2 for her. Goal number 2 for Turkey. And it's a brilliant start for the defending champions. Off the foot of the Korean centre. Korea up against it already. Seo Min-ji with the searching ball, but wide of Altunaluk's post. This time it's Gula. Lots of variety in terms of offensive threats. Gula's played an expanded role in recent years. It means her and Altunaluk very much a partnership now. And the ball blocked by the legs of Kim Hee-jin over the bar. Kim Hee-jin, the Korean centre, you might be able to hear her. She's very vocal on court. And hear the way she coordinates her teammates. Gula with the throw, lots of spin on that, but not quite matched with the accuracy. And already we have Korean substitutes warming up. Seo Min-ji, slightly slower ball, but gathered well by Altunaluk. She steadies herself on the goal and launches another attack. She's chasing a hat-trick already, Sevdra Altunaluk. Altunaluk gives the ball to Gula, throwing right up at the high ball line. Fatma Gula. It's quite a risky throw. Means the chance of conceding a high ball penalty is quite high. Altunaluk, lots of pace on that. She gets such power into her deliveries. Korea already finding them hard to deal with. Just 4 minutes into the first half. Turkey looking pretty dominant. Gula searching to get herself on the score sheet. The noise you might have heard there made by the Korean centre Kim Hee-jin helps these players to locate themselves on court. It's part of the tapestry of things that help these players create a mental picture of where they are, where the ball's coming from. You'll see them use the textured lines on court. You'll see them listen to the sound of the ball. Sometimes teammates will help each other out. Looks like we might be seeing Kim Yun-ji on court sometime soon. Sevdra Altunaluk moving towards centre of court, winding up her throwing arm. Means she can get a lot of pace and bounce on the ball. Gula blocked and ball still in play. Rolls slowly out. Korea will keep possession. If you're wondering why, it's because it went out in the Korean third of court. Yilmaz, lots of bounce on that. First throw of the game for Reyhan Yilmaz. Normally she doesn't make too many throws on court, prefers to give the ball to this player, Sevdra Altunaluk, and that looked like a penalty. Then it is, it's called as a long ball. So the ball bounced the wrong side of the long ball line. That's been called as a penalty, so Sevdra Altunaluk, having conceded the penalty, she'll now have to defend it. And that did indeed bounce over the long ball line, and it's a penalty. And Korea have their first goal of the match. And a confidence boost for this Korean side, and the penalty scored by Seo Min-jin against Sevdra Altunaluk. And that's a big boost for Korea. They were finding goals hard to come by, and they were presented with a golden opportunity one-on-one. And they made that opportunity count. Gula with the throw, and shows Turkey keen to extend their lead back to 2 points. That was a very searching throw from Fatma Gula, but well blocked by Korea. Altunluk, well blocked by the legs of Kim Hee-jin. Gula with a fair bit of bounce and power, but Korea deal with it well. Turkey have quite an aggressive style of play. Sevda Altunluk provides a huge offensive threat in terms of her throws, but she is liable to concede penalties, and I've seen occasions in the past where she's conceded them at crucial moments. Fatma Gula. And it's the first goal for Gula. And what an important time to put the ball in the back of the net. And straight after conceding a penalty, Gula with a brilliantly placed throw find its way through the body of Seo Min-ji. And goal number 1 for Gula. They have such attacking options either side of court with Gula and Altunluk. Gula playing a much greater role than she did in Tokyo. In Tokyo, Altunluk scored the vast majority of the goals. In fact, she scored every single goal in the gold medal match. But now Gula launches more throws of her own, and she's scored plenty of goals of her own as well. Altunluk, and that's the hat-trick for Sevda Altunluk. Dangerous bounce. And it's so hard for defences to deal with. And a trio of goals for number 3 for Turkey. It was extremely close to the long ball line. I thought for a second she might have conceded another penalty. But it's a legal throw, and Turkey looking pretty comfortable. Just over halfway through this first half. Fatma Gula. Once again, bounce pretty close to the long ball line. Turkey like to live dangerously, but it's that aggression that's made them so successful. Korea taking the opportunity for a timeout. Feels like the game perhaps slipping away from them. Their only goal in the match coming from a penalty one-on-one. I wonder if we might be seeing them make a change. We've seen their substitutes limbering up. And there is Sevda Altunluk, scorer of 3 out of Turkey's 4 goals. Here's the most recent one. Brilliantly taken throw. A nice little selection of what Sevda Altunluk's brought to court today. It feels like there's plenty more to come, not just in this match, but in the knockout stages as well, should Turkey progress to the semi-final. Altunluk, flatter, slower ball. She's got real range in terms of shot selection. She can generate lots of bounce, but also a lot of pace as well. Officials calling for an equipment check. Can mean a range of things. I think in this case it's an eye shade that's come loose. Lots for young In Sun to think about. Their side 3 goals behind. Still 4 minutes left of the first half. Xiaomin Jin advancing up court, but haven't really posed much of a threat, this Korean side, and that was another close-looking throw. Turkey playing very close to the long ball line. Does present the risk of giving away penalties. Good illustration of how these players feel their way around court. Those lines on court are textured, they've got string underneath, so really instrumental helping these players to get their whereabouts on court. Gula blocked, and Korea have 10 seconds to get this ball back into play. A rare throw from Rayan Yilmaz. Normally her role to give the ball to Gula or Altunaluk. That was her second throw of the match. Just trying to get in on the goal-scoring action as well. Only one of this trio not to have scored yet. Not unusual for a centre. Centre role traditionally more defensive. It's all more about blocking and passing the ball to the wings. We have seen some strong attacking centres. Not least Amanda Dennis, the USA. And that was a nervy moment for Korea. Kim Hee-jin putting it wide. And it feels like Korea fighting to keep this match a competition. Turkey threatening to run away with it. Altunaluk manoeuvres around Yilmaz. Throws cross court and dealt with by Seo Min-ji. Seo Min-ji who's going to make the return, and gathered by Yilmaz. Pass to Gula. Goes cross court. Has to be said, Seo Min-ji has made some good blocks on that near side. Altunaluk. Dangerous looking bounce on that one, but Korea starting to intercept and anticipate Altunaluk's deliveries. Kim Hee-jin, you might be able to hear making a lot of noise in the centre of court as Jung In-sun looks on, the Korean coach. These two centres, very vocal, very important to marshalling their teammates and helping keep a sense of order and strategy on court. Quick throw from Gula, blocked well by Sim Seon-hwa. Altunaluk navigates her way to centre of court. Sim Seon-hwa. Altunaluk to Gula. Altunaluk waits off court, create the space. Seo Min-ji. Altunaluk trying to find her spot to throw from. Korea wanted a penalty. Not being given. She's throwing quite close to the long ball line, and Korea coach getting increasingly interested in where her balls are landing. Reminder, if the ball lands the other side of that long ball line, then that is a penalty. So it can't land in the Korean third. Turkey are throwing. That was a bit of a safer throw from Altunluk, and Korea rescued the ball from going over, but the ball will end up in Turkey hands anyway, so the ball was deliberately put out because these players have 10 seconds to put the ball into play, and better to concede possession than concede a penalty. Gula's throw. And this is going to be the final throw of the first half, surely, from Korea. Turkey calling the timeouts. It's use it or lose it in terms of timeouts in the first half, so good moment for Turkey to call the timeout. And wearing those eye shades, the players can't see the match clock, so chance for the Turkish coach to let these players know there's 8.3 seconds that remain. Enough time to launch a dangerous throw. And there we have the pattern of goals. It was Turkey that took the 2-goal lead. Penalty from Korea. And then Turkey extending their lead yet further. It's been a pretty dominant performance from Turkey. But Korea will have half time to regroup. Dummy from Altunluk. Gula to throw. And it's been very much one way in the first half. A very impressive performance from Turkey. And a real masterclass of offensive throwing from Sevda Altunluk. A hat-trick of goals from her. And another goal from Fatma Gulgula. And it's given Turkey a comfortable lead at the break. And although Korea scored a penalty, they're very much behind at half-time. And the half-time score, Turkey 4, Republic of Korea 1.
What an exciting quarter-final here at South Paris Arena, and two players to follow in second half. Turkey number 3, Sevda Altunluk, is their top scorer, 14 goals in the tournament for now, and Republic of Korea player number 6.
Crowd enjoying the final of today's quarterfinals. So we'll discover which of these sides will take their place in the final 4. And it's Turkey that looked the happiest both on and off court. And we're about to see why with the highlights from this first half. Altunluk with the early goal for Turkey. And it was one of many. They just kept coming, and here we see goal number 2. With the legs of Kim Hee-jin, not able to keep that one out. Then Altunluk conceded a penalty, and it was converted by Korea. And Seo Min-ji. And here, Altunluk made it 3, secured her hat-trick. And made it 4-1 at the break. And there we have the scoreline, 4-1. Just the one penalty conceded by Turkey, conceded by Sevda Altunluk.
Now it's time for...
But it's looking pretty comfortable at half-time. I wonder if we'll see Korea making a change. Crowd being reminded you need to be quiet when the ball's in play. They've been pretty good at it so far. And now we're about to hear from the officials about any substitutions that were made during the half-time break. Looks like Turkey have made a change in the centre of court. Let's wait to hear from the officials.
Half-time score, Turkey 4, South Korea 1. Half-time substitutions for Turkey out number 2, in number 4.
So Turkey have made a change. Yilmaz in the centre of court coming off. It's going to be Seydon or Kaplan coming on.
South Korea stands on the ball. Quiet, please. Center.
Korea to get us going again in the second half. First half very much belonged to Turkey. Can Korea make a difference in these final 12 minutes? Well, early advantage for Turkey. They win back possession, threw the ball over. Gula with the throw along the touchline, but wide of the post. So Kaplan just came on court. She's taking position in the centre. She was also part of that gold-winning team from Tokyo. Kaplan to Altunluk. Ferocious run-up from Sevdra Altunluk. She gets such force on the ball. This match, a reminder of a repeat of the bronze medal match from Tokyo. It was Turkey that won on that occasion, and it's looking like a similar result. But still, plenty of this second half to play. Altunluk with the throw, and the ball ends up in the back of the net, and that's a familiar sight. And especially when the ball comes from the arm of Sevdra Altunluk. Altunluk with the throw. Kaplan with the dummy alongside her. And it's yet another goal for Turkey. And surely their place in the semi-final is now secure. No respite for Korea. It's called as ball over, so Turkey will have another go. Altunluk starts off court, trying to get the acutest possible angle. Seo Min-ji blocked by Altunluk. Turkey with 2 consecutive Paralympic gold medals in both Rio and Tokyo. On a very impressive run of form. And it looks like in terms of this tournament they've peaked at exactly the right time. It's another ball over, so even after Korea making the block, they keep conceding possession. The aim of the game when you're blocking is you don't want the ball to go too far away. You want to keep it within your third of the court. Otherwise you can see possession and opposition can have another go. Now Gula's turn to throw. Said she's been working every day on her goalball techniques since she was 12. She was just 17 when she picked up the gold medal in Tokyo. Oh, that was a nervy moment for Sim Seon-hwa. And the crowd being reminded they need to be quiet. They let out a gasp of excitement once Sim Seon-hwa fumbled the ball, but it's now back within her hands. Korea yet to pose much of an offensive threat for Turkey. Their only goal coming from that penalty. Altunluk uses her foot to work her way to the centre of court using those textured lines. There's a centre line that's bang on centre of the goal. These players use their hands and feet to locate it and get their bearings, and Korea taking the timeout. They're yet to make a substitution. Feels like they need to change something. Plan A not quite working. And it's been difficult for them to find a way through. Turkey defending resolutely. They've got such attacking options. A combination of Gula, Altunluk. Means ball coming at Korea from all angles. And those players have such a variety of throws. It can be really hard to deal with. Seo Min-ji goes for the straighter ball. Easily gathered by Altunluk. And she's enjoying trying her luck from centre of court at the moment. Seems to have headed to the centre for her past few throws. This time gives the ball to Gula. Gula on the other side of court. Korea appealing for the penalty. Thought it was a long ball, but official says it's a legal delivery. Altunluk moving right up to the high ball line. Kim Hee-jin still making lots of noise in the centre of court. Well, that's the slower ball. Really good example of the role of pace in goalball, and that slower ball can not make as much noise. The bell in the ball not activated quite as much and provides a real element of surprise. And good thinking from Korea, but they didn't get the result they wanted. Seo Min-ji blocked in the centre of court. Kaplan came on as the substitute centre. Altunluk starting right off court, almost next to the scoreboard. Good bit of ingenuity, trying to find an angle, and the ball's in the back of the net. That's a defensive lapse from Turkey, and the ball ricochets off Fatma Gulgula and into the net. Sim Seon-hwa with the goal. A player of Gula's quality might be disappointed with that one. You need to make your body really firm when you're lying flat, and just lifted her knee up, and it caused the ball to spin and ricochet behind her. Gula with the throw, also starting off court. Seems Seems to be a recurring tactic for this Turkey side. It's interesting watching Altunaluk move across court. Tries to carry the ball in a way that doesn't make any noise. Holding it almost at a distance from the body. Don't want to accidentally hit your body with the ball and make a noise. Turkey calling the timeout. Just conceded a goal, and a good moment for Turkey coach just to convey a few vital messages. We'll no doubt be telling them that semi-final place is within their grasp, and just need to keep their discipline and keep their focus. A momentary lack of focus from Fatma Gulgula early on, and seeing how quickly that can lead to a goal. Fatma Gulgula having her eye shades checked. One goal from her. And she's really matured and developed as a player in the years since the Tokyo Games. Played an increasingly influential role in this side. She really put a lot of pace into that run-up. Wide of the post. Seo Min-ji. Flatter ball and grabbed by Kaplan, pass to Altunaluk. Gula makes way. Gula steadies herself, goes cross court. That's an important block by Kim Hee-jin. Great example of getting your body behind the ball. Swan-hat parried by Altunaluk. Altunaluk was named by a British broadcaster as one of the 100 most influential women of the year in 2021. She's been a phenomenal icon and a real heroine of Turkish parasport. Certainly been one of the faces of Paralympic success in Turkey for some time. She's the only member of this side who picked up the gold medal in Rio 2016. And she repeated the success in Tokyo. Of course, for a hat-trick of gold medals. Turkey fans making a bit of noise. Got to take your opportunities if you're watching Goalball to create a bit of atmosphere. And now the crowd told to be silent, and it's going to be Seftra Altunaluk to throw. Blocked by the body of Seo Min-ji. It's a penalty. Fatma Gulgula conceding the long ball penalty. Once again, lack of accuracy from Turkey. The second long ball penalty that they've given away. This time it's Gula who conceded it, and so she'll have to defend. Oh, it's blocked by Gula. A bit of redemption there. She gave away the penalty, but made an excellent save to keep it out. Xiaominji blocked and passed to Fatma Gulgula. Gulgula, one of the bright young stars of Turkey Parasport. Incredible, she's just 20 years of age. Got a very bright future ahead of her. A slight curiosity, if Turkey do progress and make it through to the semi-finals, then all 4 semi-finalists will have come from the same pool. There were 2 pools of 4, and all the quarterfinals featured a participant of one pool against another. It shows the strength of that pool that Turkey played in. Featured Israel, People's Republic of China, and Brazil. Looks like Berfin Altan warming up. The only member of the squad who didn't take part in Tokyo 2020. There's another young player, also 20 years of age. Same age as Fatma Gulgula. Korea calling the timeout. They know there's just 3 minutes between them and potential end of their medal hopes. They really need to find something here. They've yet to make a substitution, Korea. They are a side that likes to stick with their starting 3. But maybe that lack of an option on the bench to try and change the game might be costing them. Turkey looking pretty comfortable, and the only thing Turkey to worry about is the number of penalties they've been conceding. It's ball over, the ball leaving court in the neutral area, and so Turkey will have another go. And this late in the game, every ball over is an opportunity to run down the clock. I think that was a penalty given against Korea. For what I heard the officials call a penalty, and yes, it has indeed been called against Xiaominji. It's a long ball. They're not a side that concedes a lot of penalties. Oh, and that was slightly rushed from Sevdral Tunaluk, wide of the post. And a player of her quality would usually expect to score one-on-one. Looked like she took it a bit too quickly. Didn't quite have her bearings, and nothing that Xiaominji needed to do. Altonluk. A lot of danger on that throw, and not sure Gültekin Karasu's entirely convinced. He'll be disappointed with that penalty miss. That probably would have put the result beyond doubt. Turkey making the change. Maybe the coach thinking Sevda Altonluk looked a little bit tired with that penalty miss. Perhaps resting her for a potential semi-final. Coming onto court, Berfin Altan, 20 years of age. And she used to compete in chess and judo before taking up goalball. And here she is representing her country in a very, very important match. I think Sevda Altonluk will be happy with her display. A player of her quality might be disappointed, both conceding and missing a penalty. She still looked pretty dominant, and I'm sure she'll be up there with the tournament top scorers at the end of this Paris 2024 competition. Early throw for Altan. Oh, what a start for Berfin Altan on the court for just a few seconds. And she scored the goal that almost certainly confirms the win for Turkey. Off the foot of Kim Hee-jin. And a brilliant start for Berfin Altan. Another Turkey change. I think that's a sign that Turkish coach thinks the result is safe and secure. It's going to be Fatma Gulgula to come off, and have another Altonluk on court, not Sevda, but her sister Sevtap. Chance for a bit of court time for her. This is Korea's third Paralympic Games. They made their debut on home soil in Seoul in 1988 and then competed in Atlanta in 96. So it's a long time since they've represented their country in this stage. And they've put on a very strong showing, but looks like this will be the end of their medal hopes. Kim Hee-jin making a lot of noise in centre of court, and we see the slower ball. Really interesting. The ball moves that slowly. It doesn't make much noise, and see the Turkish trio scrambling around to try and locate it. It's ball over, so Korea will have a go at possibly their final competitive game of this tournament. There's still a classification game to come, but no medals at stake there. Sim Seon-hwa advancing up court, trying to get a consolation goal for Korea. Here we have Altan. She scored with almost her first throw. Not quite as successful second time round. I think Gültekin Karasu will be pretty happy with how his side have played in this quarter-final. Still things to work on, of course, but lots of positives too. Now Sevtap Altonluk, sister of Sevda, who's made such a difference in this game. We see the final throws, not just of this match, but of all the women's quarterfinals. It's been a brilliant set of matches, and final of the semi-finalists to be confirmed. It's Turkey. Tap Altunaluk from centre of court. Oh, it's a goal, but it's been disallowed. And joy to disappointment for Sevtap Altunaluk. Not only is the goal being disallowed, but she's going to have to defend a penalty. South Korea taking the timeout. You know, there's just 1 or 2 throws remaining and a chance to give a bit of advice before this penalty throw. They might have a bit of intel on where Sevtap Altunaluk likes to locate herself for penalties. And the ball landed the other side of the long ball line, so penalty awarded, and that will be one thing that will give the Turkish coaches a bit of pause for thought. Hat-trick of penalties conceded, and against more competitive opposition, that could be the difference between winning and losing. And it's a consolation goal for Korea. A very well taken penalty. And nothing that Sevtap Altunaluk could do about that. Penalty from Sim Suanhua. And a great way for her to finish this match. Altan takes maximum possible time to throw. And it's a place in the semi-final for Turkey. And a brilliant performance from them. And it's a brilliant showing from Sevtap Altunaluk, the Turkey number 3. She's a 4-time European champion, 2-time Paralympic champion, world champion. She really is a class act. And it was 4 goals from her that made such a big impact in this quarter-final. Turkey can celebrate a place in the semi-finals and a chance for them to defend their crown. And the final score after a brilliant quarter-final, Turkey 6, Korea 3. Lovely scenes at the end as Sevtap Altunaluk gives warm wishes to her Korean opponents. And these players know each other so well. They've played on the international scene together for many years. And Turkey are just too strong. That tournament experience and that attacking threat from Gulgula and Sevtap Altunaluk made the difference between the two sides. And a lively crowd at the South Paris Arena giving the plaudits to this Turkey side. And they will definitely be one to watch as we head into the semi-finals and the medal matches on the 2 remaining days of this competition. Not the end of the road for Republic of Korea. There's still a classification game. Well, that does mean the end of their medal hopes. And it was always going to be a tall order up against a very experienced Turkey side. But great to see they're still smiling. As these two sides take the plaudits from the crowd. Brilliant way to end this day of women's quarterfinals. And there we have the final score. Turkey winning 6-3. And it was 4 goals from Sevdral Tunluk. Made a big difference, and that propelled Turkey into that spot in the semi-finals.
Avec les matchs de classement de la compétition femmes pour la 7e et 8e place. Tout d'abord, la République de Corée contre la France à 9h, suivi d'un match entre le Japon contre le Canada.
We hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you for being part of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. The next session here at South Paris Arena 6 for Goalball is tomorrow morning for 2 women's classification playoff matches. The first between Republic of Korea and France at 9 a.m. followed by game between Japan and
there
Canada.
Was the story of the match. 6-3, but Turkish coach will look with a quizzical eye at that number of penalties. 3 penalties given away by Turkey. When it comes to the medal matches, that could prove to be very costly indeed. Could be the difference between gold and silver. So definitely something for Turkey to work on ahead of the semi-final.
Find all the Paris 2024 product ranges in official.
And there we have the lineups for the semi-finals. People's Republic of China against Israel, and Brazil against Turkey. 2 very strong sides, and interestingly, all sides that came from the same pool. So one pool proved to be very much stronger than the other. And all 4 sides from that pool qualifying for the semi-finals. Don't think that's ever happened before at a goalball tournament.
The Paris 2024 organizing committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and dedication.
And as the crowd leave this wonderful arena, it's been a brilliant day of quarter-final action. And in the end, the battle between Turkey and Korea, it was Turkey that came out on top by 6-3.
Please direct your attention to the video board for highlights from the game.
Another brilliant day of goalball at South Paris Arena, and a fantastic quartet of quarterfinals, ending with Turkey's victory against Korea. We're very grateful to you for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed goalball, and we hope you've been inspired to find out more about goalball and other Paris sports where you are. But thank you very much for joining us from the South Paris Arena at Paris 2024.
Please take care exiting from the venue, and remember, Paris 2024 staff are here to help should you require any assistance.
Retrouvez le Superstore et la fan zone avec écran géant et point de restauration.